Hey everyone, it's your boy LockTech back at it again with another video. Today we do a little different topic and we're going to be aiming towards the downsides and our cons of obtaining or purchasing an actual good product or a well-rounded product that's worth the money. In this particular situation, we're specifically talking about CPUs. And the one we're going to talk about first is the 9800X3D. Everyone was looking for this thing to drop. They were disappointed with the Zen 5 launch. The non-X3D SKUs weren't really nothing to write home about. They were either given equal performance or 5% performance over the Zen 4, which is the 7000 series. And me, like a lot of people, were kind of disappointed to see the gains. But it probably be a little different from me because I'm still on Zen 2. So it'll still be a good update for me if I upgrade to the 9800X3D. But however, people who already have 7000 series, they were very, very disappointed. And to make it worse, it was a lot of false advertising hyping up for the Zen 5 launch non-SKUs. And given, even though there's some points that they're really good at, like efficiency and productivity, the gaming just wasn't nothing to write home about, like I said before. So the 9800X3D was launched, everyone lost their mind. They want to grab it before it went out of stock, and unfortunately, I don't know what the count is or how people managed to get their hands on it, but it was out within minutes. And this is the problem, and what brings me to point number one, or con number one, for obtaining or purchasing items, whether it's computer market or any market, that are popular, well-rounded. And in this case, CPUs sell like hotcakes, especially Ryzen CPUs. So con number one, 95% of the time when things like this caliber drop, whether it's gaming for productivity or whatever is meant for, it could be a jack of all trades. But one of the main cons is that 95% of these kind of products that drop, 95% of the time the company or the retailers can't meet the demand for these kind of products. And like I said, it went as it came. So in other words, it sold out as fast as it was posted on the websites. So that was kind of a downer. A lot of them, particularly like Newegg and Amazon, a lot of them people are already on back order. I was just talking to some acquaintance on like Discord, and they're still waiting, and it's been weeks since they ordered it. So I feel sorry for them. And that's one of the cons of having launching a well-rounded or really good product that's really good for the money. The 95% issue of not meeting demand. And sure enough, you can't find them anywhere now. Not on Amazon, not on Micro Center, if you have fortunate enough to have a Micro Center near you, not on Newegg. List goes on all the retailers. It's nowhere to be found. And prior to this launch, its predecessor, the 7800X3D, also 8-core 16-thread with 3D V-cache, that sold like hotcakes as well when it came out. So it's just like a repeat of the 7800X3D launch, but just on a higher scale. Because I believe, even though it went out off stock the same day, I don't believe the 7800X3D went out within a few minutes of it launching. It did go in the same day, but not as fast as 9800X3. It was like people were hungry for something to be dropped this year tech-wise that'll feed their hunger for gaming or whatever they're doing as far as the PC CPU market space. So as the predecessor, it blew the doors off with sales and was out of stock the same day it was launched. Now, the downside, again, for things that are launched and then they're hard to come by, which ties in to the 95% of not meeting demand as far as quantity or volume. The 7800X3D now, it launched at $449 if I'm not mistaken, and now their scalpers came on the prowl now, and they're charging upwards of $500 and change for the 7800X3D. You're only saving hope for us gamers is if you have a Micro Center near you that you can go down there and get it, because they still have it in stock. They keep good stock of 7800X3D. However, they have an MSRP. And the good thing about Micro Center as well, they also have bundles with the 7800X3D. But going back on point, the 7800X3 is still available on Micro Center is probably the only place that does not have it price gouged by scalpers. I believe Newegg and Amazon still have price gougers. people asking for like 500, 600 for a 7800X3D because the supply is dwindling, because it's like at this point it's 2 years old, and people don't want to wait for the mess of the 9800X3D, even though it beats it in the predecessor in games and whatnot. They don't want to wait and they just settle for the previous gen. And people are looking for that and the 9800X3D, or that if they can't get a 9800X3D. So that's con number 2 of price gouging when demand is running out or demand is really high and the stock can't keep up to refill. So this again ties into the 95% I mentioned earlier in the first con when something is launched. These 2 good examples of why our cons, why really good products, don't matter what space you're in, this time we're talking about CPUs, this is why they get sold out and people get upset and frustrated and all that good jazz because of either the scalpers coming in when people struggle trying to get the things in stock, and on top of that, they can't meet demand, or they don't get shipped enough quantity to meet all the consumers like us or people like me that want to buy into computer gaming and stuff. They don't want to wait. They either don't want to wait for the new one to come out in stock again, or they just say, okay, let me just settle and take the performance deficit over the 900X3D and just get the 700X3D. But you see the rock and the hard place there. People backtrack and settle as their second choice for the 700X3D because they can't get the 800X3D. But then they gotta now deal with it along with not getting things because it's on back order. Now they gotta deal with price gouging. So those are the 2 biggest issues when it comes. There's more, but I'm not going to a whole list. But there are the 2 biggest issues that I've seen in this computer market, specifically for CPUs, that have issues with stock and meeting demand. So on that note, let me know what y'all think down below. Are you looking on the market for 7800X3D? Are you still waiting for the back-ordered 9800X3D? Or are you just going to shrug and give up and wait till next year when the new stuff launches, like the 16-core and the 12-core X3D Zen 5s? Please let me know in the comments below. Have you experienced this issue as well, as far as not meeting demand and not getting the product you want? Comment down below. And until next time, this is Boy Lock Tech. See you next time.